Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this video is all about the full moon of February the 16th, 2022. It's actually the part 1 video, which is a truly exceptional analysis of the totally exceptional energies of this full moon. But there's also a part 2 video which suggests to you an outline for vision work with the energy of the full moon, if that's what you want to do. But as I said, this is the part 1 video, which is a genuinely, truly exceptional presentation of the full moon's energies. The full moon of the 16th of February has rare, exceptional, vast energies for each of us to understand and work with. So here's the super detailed lowdown. In summary, the full moon on the 16th of February is dominated by the immense crushing power of Saturn, which grows even more rare and exceptional and dominating by the 27th of February. All the planets are in the two Vedic signs ruled by Saturn, Capricorn and Aquarius, at the time of this full moon, except for Mars and Venus, but they join on the 27th of February. So the whole point is, exception to that is Uranus and the nodes of the moon. So Saturn dominates. And I feel time seems to get slower and slower. Doing and achieving seems to take longer and longer. It has a sort of emotional effect too. The point is, Saturn is super powerful in Capricorn now, the sign he rules. So we have Saturn's, you could say, dread power to demand now that we learn and respond to our hard spiritual lessons. We are required now to make more effort to face some of our karmas and mistakes. But in addition to this huge Saturn domination of almost all the planets, particularly by the 27th of February, there's Kalsarpa Yoga, the huge and preposterous divisive energy of Kalsarpa Yoga is in force, with all the planets, except for the unsupported moon, to one side of the nodal axis. So in addition to the crushing demands of Saturn, we also have preposterous divisive energies to manage our minds, our communications, and our behaviour within, and be the spiritual hero in the middle of all this. But importantly, and more than that, the full moon is at 3 Leo, 3 Vedic Leo, in a tight, exact inconjunct, 150 degrees, to Pluto at 3 Capricorn. So that means that our emotions will be intensified now by things like our subconscious fears, by power issues calling out to us to be recognised and healed and positively expressed by us in our life now. And then there is actually another utterly huge factor to this totally exceptional full moon, and that is that it's square the nodal axis. It's at 90 degrees to Rahu, the north node, and Ketu, the south node. It's exact to the degree. So if you look at my February 2022 page on my Star Wheel Astrology website, where you see the charts and the astrological details, and all our newsletter parts for February, you see this big angry red square. Node, moon, node, sun, all at 90 degrees to each other. And this means that energies of fate and destiny truly are flowing more strongly and forcefully, forcing themselves on us, for us to respond positively to or not, but for us to feel at the time of this full moon. And a further factor relating to this is that the nodes are about to change sign in April to move into Vedic Aries and Libra, and we're feeling that fulcrum change. But there's another truly exceptional factor, and that is Mars and Venus are at war in an exceptionally long planetary war. Each of them at the time of this full moon are at 22 degrees Vedic Sagittarius. And by the 27th of February, as I said, they too will have joined the Saturn domination, because they too on that day enter Saturn-ruled Capricorn. The next point we need to be aware of is Uranus. Uranus is transiting Vedic Aries, and the last time Uranus was there was in the run-up to the Second World War, the rise of Hitler and all that. And Uranus has been squaring Saturn for a long time. They're separating now. But the question arises, have I identified, on the one hand, the Saturn blocks and prison walls that are in our life, but on the other hand, the revolution call of Uranus, who was discovered at the day of the storming of the Bastille? This full moon energy could help us break out of and perceive more clearly Saturn limitation and blocks, and embrace and see more clearly our needed path of revolution now, Uranus expressed. And actually, a further point of detail about this full moon, if you look at the Western chart on my February page on my Star Wheel Astrology website, you will see there's a chart aspect shape called a psychic eye. It's Uranus sextile Jupiter, where each of Uranus and Jupiter are semi-sextile, the apex planet of that triangle, that psychic eye triangle. And the apex planet is Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. And Chiron, especially at this time, and you can latch into this, is therefore receiving from from Jupiter and Uranus, psychic, revolutionary and expansionary impulses. It could be a very, psychically, intuitively valuable and powerful full moon experience. Certainly will be for some people. So, to summarise where we've got to so far, we have all the tensions of the Venus-Mars war. We have the divisiveness of Kalsarpa Yoga. We have the implacable call of fate from the square to the nodal axis. We have the call to contact our unconscious buried power and disempowerment issues from Pluto. And there is the inexorable karmic demand from Saturn, Lord Shani, Lord of Karma. But just a bit more detail. This full moon is at 3 degrees Vedic Leo, 27 Western Leo, with the Sun at 3 degree Aquarius, 27 Western Aquarius. And this full moon is at 16:56 in the late afternoon here in the beautiful west of Ireland. It's at 11:56 a.m. in New York and 8:59 in California in the morning. But there are a couple of extra details it's so valuable to hear. And the first of them are to do with the nakshatras the sun and the moon of this full moon fall into. The moon is in Magha nakshatra at the start of Leo, an imperious, demanding energy. It's very connected to our ancestral issues. It's ruled by Ketu, the south node of the moon. Its symbol is the throne. And it's all about the powers, qualities and abilities coming from your past lives. The meaning and guidance you find and create from your personal heritage, genetic heritage and cultural heritage. And the sun of this full moon is in Dhanishta nakshatra, whose power animal is the lioness. It's ruled by Mars. And it has a special capacity for listening to divine inspiration. Really good if you can add those two nakshatra dimensions to your full moon awareness. And actually I would add a really worthwhile special point. The way the planets all treat each other at the time of this full moon is extreme. Using Rashi Avashtas, we can see, for example, that the Sun and Saturn fight each other terribly. Sun also fights Mercury and Jupiter. Moon fights Mercury, Venus and Saturn. The Rashi Avashta's list of the way these planets treat each other is an awe-inspiring challenge. Okay, forewarned is forearmed. You can get a reading from me about what this strange imperative time means for you in your life. Indeed, we're coming up to not only when the nodes change sign in April, but when Saturn changes sign and moves briefly into Aquarius. So you can get a natal chart reading from me, get a reading for your year ahead, get a reading for your love scripts, or a reading about your relationship, a reading about what is your needed new path forward. So go to the buy page of my Star Wheel Astrology website. And as I said, also on the Star Wheel Astrology website, there's the February newsletter, the February page, with the newsletter items from our astrologers and healers. Wonderful stuff. And my wife, Mackie Pashley, offers a magnificent range of healing modalities worldwide, and you can find out more about those at her website www.mackiepashley.com. So I hope this has been valuable analysis of the truly exceptional need-to-know facets of the full moon of the 16th of February. And you might want to watch the part 2 video, which is my suggestion for vision work, embodiment work and empowerment work at the time of this full moon. Thank you.